good. Yeah, good to be with you. Shoelaces loose, and I go to time when I'm all pumped up, right? And I ripped my shoelace off. Now I got one shoe on back there. That's what we were doing. This wasn't a dramatic entrance, just so you know. I have one shoe on. Like, do I go barefooted? Do I go one shoe, or like, oh, I got some help, man. I'm
Turn it
up. Barefooted, so. All right, that's good, Nick. You're gonna drive me crazy. Thank you, brother. So give Nico a round of applause. It's great to be with you. It's great to be with my favorite team in all of World Financial. This is part of my former team, so I'm at home here. So this is just wonderful to be with you. I want to do one thing before I start, and just so you know, because I've watched what you've done with this event, I've seen the pictures you've done. I know about the dinner last night, and the meetings you've been doing, and just so you know, I've hosted these. The amount of stress level and detail that goes into putting on one of these meetings, you cannot, I hope you know someday because it means your team's big enough. But trust me when I tell you, the amount of time, effort, energy, love, money that these two have put into this meeting, you would not believe. So I want to acknowledge Angelica and Guillermo right now for doing such a great job. Both in World Financial Group and out, and let me just tell you, Gian and Angelica put on world-class, first-class, great events. This is absolutely wonderful, and I know it's probably all you, Angelica, so thank you very much. It's awesome. And I'm also proud of this team growing. I was thinking, I don't want to start saying names, but I was here last night, and I snuck in, and Joe DePaul and I had a quick meeting last night, and we were talking about this group, and I was just thinking through all of the daggum leaders in this team now, man. I mean, just Yariv, Mark, you know, Josh, you got Eric, you got David, you got Nick, you got all these just rising studs, you know, and then, you know, the next wave of people that are coming too. So I'm very, very optimistic. If this was a stock, I would buy this hierarchy as a stock. But what I want to do is I want to buy the stock of you. And so that's what I really came here to talk about today. WFG's roaring, we're exploding again, our numbers are growing, we got a ton of swagger right now as a company. I've never seen our team, our company with more confidence. We're about to go in about 10 days to a meeting with my buddy Tony Robbins. I talked to Tony this morning. He's doing a meeting in Florida right now called Date with Destiny, which is one of his very best meetings that he does. And we were talking about the meeting we've got upcoming. He's going to tweak a few things for us. It's going to be sort of from that conference. And so how many of you qualified to go to the Tony Robbins? That's going to be a life-altering, business-altering experience for you. I promise you that. So let's talk about you. I came today to talk about winning for real. Okay, like I didn't come here to waste your time. I'm going to talk to you as a brother. I'm going to be a little bit intense with you, but I want when I leave here that I know you're going to have a wonderful conference, but I don't want to have not told you what I think about winning in WFG. Okay, fair enough? So a little bit of details too. Is that fair? Yes? Yes. Okay, so first let me just tell you this, because I know a lot of you are seeing me doing a lot of things that aren't just WFG related now. Like I'm on Instagram, I'm hosting interviews, I'm speaking at other engagements and stuff. I just want you to understand one thing. My sole business that I generate my money from, that I love, that's my passion, where will always be my home and I'll never do anything else for a living, is WFG. I just want you to understand that. This is the single greatest business opportunity in the world, bar none. I promise you, I'm about to do a TV show with Cardone and maybe Gary Vee and a couple other guys we're kicking around doing, and this show it's like a Shark Tank for entrepreneurs, but like a hardcore one. Not like this sanitized BS you see on ABC, right? So, and we're going to use Instagram, we're going to use social media power to do it, and there's networks looking at it already, but the point I'm making to you is my problem is every time we've done these damn pre-interviews, I'm like, you should be doing WFG. Every single time I see these other entrepreneurs, like, it's not as good as WFG. It's not as good a model. You won't make as much money. There's way too much overhead. It's not as good an idea. It's not as marketable. So I have this problem with, like, will you stop talking about your damn company all the time, right? But I can't turn it off, and I don't want to turn it off. So I just want you to know that this is my home. You want to make a great life? I've been traveling and seeing all these guys who do the Instagram, I'm a winner mentor thing. You know what I mean? They're all wonderful guys. By the way, some of them become my best friends. Like when we meet, it's kind of like a brotherhood right away. Like I love these dudes. And I just did Andy Frisella's show. Andy's a stud, man. I love Andy. I'm going to start mentoring and working with Andy. Grant Cardone's become a good friend. Tony already was. Tim Grover I just interviewed, who wrote Relentless. He and I have talked every day since then. I love these guys. They're great guys. But I just want to tell you something. It even surprises me when I meet them how much wealth I've amassed through WFG, comparatively speaking. I just want you to know that. Like, just think about this for a second. My first year, I made $8 grand. I made $8 grand my first year. And I didn't really make $8 grand, I probably lost 50 grand. Right? If you think about it, $8,000 came in, but at least 50,000 bucks went out. That was full time. Right? So I remember my family talking me out of it. You're crazy, you're in a cult, why don't you get a real job, go to a real financial company, maybe you should go get your master's degree. My dad kept trying to set me up with interviews from other legit companies. You know, all the stuff that you're hearing from people too, right? And what I want you to understand is, they're not bad people, they love you. They just actually don't get what the hell you're doing. Now, if you asked a wealthy person, a stud, a successful person, should you be doing WFG, almost all of them would tell you yes. That's the reason I've become such close friends with these guys. When they learn about our model, they're blown away. They're blown, like, I'll be honest with you, and I don't mean to brag when I tell you this, but I've got one of the most magnificent pieces of property in the world that I live on in Laguna Beach, right? I've got my favorite home I've ever seen in my life is my estate in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I just left my house here in Palm Desert. Nick, is that a pretty nice place? Yeah, you were just there with me. Mike, they were blown away too, right? And I've had the great blessing of having, I got a Ferrari, I've had Lambos, I've had Rollses, I got a Bentley, whatever. I got a jet right now. In fact, I had a jet. Grant Cardone gave me crap about having a partner, so I sold out of that jet and bought a bigger ass jet than he's got. I own that sucker myself. Mine's got 3 engines, dude. Falcon 50s. I bought the damn plane from Michael Bloomberg. So it's pretty cool, right? WFG guy buys plane from Michael Bloomberg. Someone ought to write that down. It's hard to say 3 times fast, too. But here's what I tell these guys when I meet with them, and I want you to hear this. Here's the scary part. All this stuff you see me with, I own cash. I have no debt on my jet. It's mine. My Laguna house, my desert house, my Coeur d'Alene, Idaho house, my 3 boats, my Ferrari, my Bentley, my truck, my Sea-Doos, whatever you see I have, I own all of it cash. Just add up the net worth alone on that. These guys go, what the hell do you do? And I tell them about WFG, because this is all I do. All right, good, you're good now, brother. That's enough of that. Have him seat, G. That's good. Crazy. That's good. And no matter what he told you to do, go sit down now. I can terminate him, just so you know. Oh, man. You need to sit down. I tell you what, man, I'm all into this social media stuff now, but still my nature is private. My nature's, I hate this camera stuff, man. It's like, wow, I don't hate you, I love you, but you don't understand what I'm saying. You can't stand there and do this crap. I feel like I'm in the shower naked. So, anyway, let's talk some business. I want to get into you when people ask me, hey, what do I need to do to win? How do I turn this around? I want to get successful at WFG, right? Well, let me just tell you, the success even Tim Grover and I were talking, okay? Who's coach, Tim Grover, just so you know, was Michael Jordan's mental and physical coach. Kobe Bryant's mental and physical coach. Dwayne Wade's mental and physical coach. And still to this day, and I coach several NFL guys now. Couple NHL dudes, 2 NBA guys. I'm their mental peak performance coach. I work with them regularly. Some of the dudes I just mentioned to you, I'm coaching. Okay? But when I work with them, let me tell you what I'll tell you. I would never, ever, never trade my lifestyle, what I get to do, the money we've made, the difference we make in people's lives, this right here, I would not trade for any single one of their lives. Honest to God, and when those dudes get around me, they would rather trade. Because let me tell you what I have for you. This is why I want to do something for you today to help you. I so admire and respect what you're trying to do with your life. Just so you know, you are already unique and special and unbelievably, I'll just tell you this, driven, even though you may not feel like it, to just be trying to turn your life around. Just be here. Just be after WFG. All the adversity you face, all the no's, all the negatives, all the fears, all your insecurities, all the distractions with family and kids and parents and life, all that stuff, and most of the time you're getting negatives, aren't you? Most of the time someone's telling you don't do it, or they say I'll be in a meeting and they don't show up, or they buy something, they change their damn mind, or they start and then they quit. All what you're going through, and you still here. See, you should be patting yourself. See, I don't love that. I don't like that. I love that. I'll spend the rest of my damn life helping you win. Because guess what? If you don't quit this, if you stay long enough, if you keep doing the dadgum work required, there's just a point where you win. And so I love you and I admire you. I've changed over the years where I only work with people that were winning. And now I start to see, you know what? Those guys aren't that special. It's easy to love WFG when you're winning. It's easy to love being an entrepreneur when you're winning. The people I have the most respect for sometimes are the people who love it and believe it when they're not winning. When they're not winning. And so I admire you. I just want you to know that. So I want to help you. Give yourself a round of applause. That's good. Okay. Here we go. We're going to get this up. Thank you. You look beautiful, by the way. We used to share an office together. I'm allowed to tell her that. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get into how you win here. First off, should you win? My son is, it's interesting the other things you could do, right? So my son's a 4.4 GPA and a really good golfer. And my son is like my favorite person. He's just a magnificent young man. I just hope he stays this way. He's such a good boy. He's such a stud. He works so hard. This morning, my son had an English thing today. And he read me his English. I have no idea where this brain comes from, right? So anyway, he's got to give this big presentation at 8:30 this morning. He was just texting me on the way in. He finished it. And so I was out here last night. Christiana texted me and said, it's 5:30, your son's gone. Right? Just so you know where my son was, he had an Uber pick him up and he was at the driving range hitting golf balls until 7:15. Then he left the range at 7:15 to get at school at 7:45 again and give his presentation. When school ends, he'll go to the gym, and when he's done at the gym, he'll go back to the driving range again. So he's a stud. He works hard, right? I admire that about him. I hope I could say that about you in WFG, that you max out every minute. Like this stuff I talk about seems to rub off on my kids, right? And so I wanted to max out for you, like really, really bad, okay? Because your alternatives are this. My son's debate is, should he go to college? It's really interesting in my house. I'm meeting more and more affluent, successful people. I'm just going to be honest with you. Who are like, my kids aren't going to college. That's a scam. Now, I'm not telling you that I think this to the degree most of my wealthy friends do, but I'm telling you, let me give you a new secret. I'd say 75% of my wealthy friends don't want their kids to even go to college anymore. It's infested with weird ideology. It pumps out dependent people. It pumps out employees. It pumps out average. It gets everybody to conform to the same way of thinking. I'm not saying I believe it. In fact, my wife's 100% they're not going. I'm not. I'm like, you know what? There's something to be said for maturing, the discipline of getting a degree. I don't discount getting a degree, by the way. I have one. I'm proud I did the work to do it. Any of you that have one, I'm not discounting that achievement. But even you would agree with me that it didn't prepare you to do anything in life. You just had to grind through to get this piece of paper so people go, oh, you're legit. Right? Isn't that true? All of us would say that. You don't use your degree, probably. I'm not using my degree. My degree was probably, I guess I do. It was broadcasting, so I use it on my podcast. Right? I'm not making money on that. I'm spending $500,000 a year on this shit. But anyway, the bottom line, it actually does because it's growing WFG. But what if with the first day of college they went, hey, welcome here. Here's the deal. You're going to end up with $200,000 of debt. Here's our game plan for you, okay? 30 years from now, you'll be in a job you hate and you'll have less than $50,000 cash. And you will be divorced, half of you, by the time you're 40. Great life, go for it. Wouldn't that be cool if they actually told you the truth? Because that's actually what you get, right? Or how about this? How about like, oh no, don't do that. Go into network marketing. You should go do vitamins or whatever the hell they do now, right? That's cool. 99.4% of you will never make $50 gross net profit. Go do that. Or don't do that. Actually start a business. Be a real entrepreneur. Borrow money, open up a brick and mortar business, and start into business. We should tell you how that's going to work out too, okay? 75% of you won't have your business in a year, 94% of you won't have one in 3 years, and 40% of you will file bankruptcy. Go for that one. Those are your alternatives. Or WFG. So when you're going through your little grind right now, oh, it's been a year, it's been 6 months. How much debt you accumulated? You probably had until divorce if you don't make some damn money, though. I'll give you that part, right? The point is, what if I gave my son 4 years at WFG when he was 18? I said, hey, I'm gonna give you the same 200 grand. Okay? You got 4 years to go through this and start a business. That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah. Be interesting where his life would be, the amount of people he would affect. And so I don't love it, I don't like it, I love it, and I believe in it to an extent probably that it might even mean that my 4.4 son doesn't go to college to do WFG. That's how serious I am about it. So I don't talk about this stuff. I think you'll see my son in WFG when he's 18. I don't know that for sure. Actually, I know he'll be in WFG. I just don't know whether he'll also be in college. I don't mean to be controversial with you, but I think you need to start not only selling WFG, but also showing people the pain of the path they're currently on. Because both things get people to move. The pleasure of where they're going and to avoid pain. If you're someone like me, pain avoidance is a bigger driver than pleasure. And so when you're recruiting and talking to people, they need to know both. They need to know both things. So we're going to cover that with you right now. Let's talk about winning. I get asked this all the time and I don't cover it enough, so I'm going to. I got 6 things here that I think are the benchmarks of why I did okay in business and still do. Would you like to know what they are? Okay, so I'm going to give them to you. And I'm just going to start out, and I don't mean to be controversial when I say this, okay? Let's accept something up front before we begin this list. Let's accept the fact that most of the people you talk to are going to say no. Okay? Most of the people around you who love you won't believe in you or you doing this. You got it? And you're going to get it going and it's going to go backwards. You're going to get it going, it's going to go backwards. As an entrepreneur, there's false start after false start after false start. So, now you know. So when it happens to you, don't think you're the only person in the world it happened to, or woe is me, or I can't make this happen, okay? That's just part of being one of us. Are you down for that, yes or no? Yeah. If you're not, quit after the meeting. Because you're not immune to it. People are going to quit, they're going to let you down, they're going to talk crap about you. You're going to have setback after setback. Got it? That's part of the deal. Okay, now that we know that, let's go through the things. Number 1 thing, benchmark for me, faith. My number 1 thing in my business that got me through the business is my faith in God, that God's got a plan for me, that He's got my back. My number 1 business partner is my Lord. That's my number 1, before even any, and here's why that's important, just so you know. Okay, I'm gonna give you a secret. I'm the only guy talking about this that I know anywhere right now. Okay, you know the dreams you have in your heart? You know, these like big dreams, whatever they are. Some of them you can't even message. It's just like a feeling you like to have about yourself. So your real dream isn't like a jet, although it's badass flying on your own jet, just so you know. But that's not really, what's badass about it is how you feel when you're doing it. It's cool to drive a Ferrari. I've had a Honda. I would just rather drive the Ferrari, right? It's cool. But it ain't the car, it's how you feel. Right? It's not giving money to a charity, it's how you feel knowing you've helped somebody. Right? It's how you feel. Okay, so these dreams you have, everyone else in your life is going to tell you, be realistic. Listen close. Most importantly, I'm going to say all day. Be realistic. That's BS. That's not for people like you. All these seminars are telling you all this stuff, right? What they're really telling you is this, even though they don't know it. You shouldn't have any faith. You shouldn't have any faith. There's no God. You're not supposed to do something great. You're not the son of the King of Kings. You're a dipshit. Just be realistic. No, I'm serious. That's what they're saying to you when they say it. You need to get more hardcore about this. That's what they're saying to you. Okay? Because let me tell you what the truth is. I've lived it. So listen up. I've watched it with other people. Whatever your dreams are, big or small, might even just be to have a child someday. I don't know. You might have to adopt to get it, some of you, right? But whatever that dream is, it's retiring your mom. I don't care what it is. Okay? That dream was sown into your heart by your God. And not so you get it. Here's the profound part. God gave you those dreams because He knows you, if you believe in Him, He knows you can't get there without Him. And so it's His best mechanism in the world to draw you closer to Him. Because eventually, when all these people quit, eventually when you go through it, eventually you're going to hit your knees and go, Lord, please help me out here. I want this so bad. What do I need to do? Make me better. So your dreams were put there by God not to achieve them, but to draw you closer to Him so that you can achieve them. It's the mechanism He gave. And when you achieve them, it'll be one of the great validations of your faith. When things happen to me and I see my life sometimes, I go, I ain't that good. There's no way this was all me. This is a blessing. Now, I did the work, but one of the reasons I worked so hard is I had faith that if I did the work, there'd be a payoff eventually. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So stop checking your faith at the door in business. You got faith on Sunday, hallelujah, or whatever you believe, right? But all of a sudden, when you're making a phone call, God ain't around. There's no blessing for you. When you're going into a meeting, there's no blessing for you. So somehow you check Him constantly at the door when it comes to business. You need to stop doing that. Enroll Him as your partner. Pray to Him while I'm talking to Him. Hey man, help me out here. I gotta have you have my back. You make me better, make me stronger, deliver me the right people. Bring me the places, circumstances. Eventually, Lord, I want to get closer to you. That's why it's so crippling to quit. Because when you quit, there's a part of you that'll never get as close in your faith as you could have by achieving dreams with your best business partner. Okay, number two, that's so damn good, it's crazy good. I wish I had an hour on that. I'm just discovering it later in my life. I'm like, my God, that's what we were doing the whole time, weren't we? Right? Number two, self-improvement. You're never going to out-earn your identity. You got to work on you and work on you and work on you. You'll never out-earn your self-worth. You'll never get more out of life than you believe you'll deserve. And so you've got to read the books, listen to the tapes, work on your fitness, do the things other people aren't willing to do so you can have the things you're not willing to have. You will never. It's like I talk about this in my audios all the time. There's a thermostat, a governor on your life, and if you only believe you're a 75 degree, or even if the circumstances get hotter and better, you will unconsciously start to cool it down. If you look back at your time in WFG, you'll see there's these false starts after false starts. You know what those are? That's you getting ahead of your identity. It's you doing a little bit better than you think you're worth. And you cool it down, you stop getting wide, you stop recruiting, you start getting busy, you get in a car accident, you think all that stuff's circumstantial. You're manifesting that crap to cool your life down. The same is also true. One of your great fears is being totally broken, you can't eat. Guess what? You've always eaten. You know why? Because you live in the United States. There's always an opportunity. So you'll heat things back up. So the trick is to be able to work on what you think you're worth, so that when that abundance comes your way, you feel like you belong there and you don't have to turn the air conditioners down. That's why you always have to be working on yourself. And you front rowers, if you're wondering why I continue to push through, why right now I can tell you honest to God, if you're on, some of you got messages from me at 3:30 last night. I'm working on 3-4 hour, not 7 like I used to. I'm working 18, 19, 20-hour days at this stage of my life. Okay? Harder than I've ever worked in my life, and I'm telling you why. It's because I've pushed through. I hate where I am. I'm uncomfortable. I don't hate my financial situation. I hate my reach. I hate me not using some of the gifts I have to their max, which is why I'm on social media. I want to reach millions of people around the world, which I've started to. And so I hate where I am. Malcolm X said, that which you do not hate, you will eventually tolerate. We get out of life what we're willing to tolerate. That's all your self-improvement and your identity. You must work on that. Is everybody with me? Yeah. Okay, so, by the way, if you don't have faith, that's okay. Believe in you. Believe in the universe, whatever you believe in. I'm not here to preach to you my beliefs. If you want to know what they are, you can ask me, but I'm not on the stage. Third thing, you got to learn to close and persuade. I told Joe last night, I was telling him I'm bringing a couple sales trainers into WFG. And I said, Joe, you can take Penny Oy, Swan Wen, you, me, Guillermo, whoever the hell you want to mention. We're all different people. We run different models. We have different personalities. You know what we can all do? Close. We can all get a check. We can all persuade people. We can all get them to say yes. If you don't develop that skill, you will fail not in WFG. You will fail in life. You won't close your kids on getting good grades. You won't close your kids on staying off drugs. You won't close your spouse on loving you more. You won't close anybody in your life on anything. The art of persuasion and closing people to do things in their own benefit leads to a good life. You can't, if you're a pastor and you can't close, nobody accepts the Lord. I'm serious. Closing and persuasion is one of the great gifts. My children leave my home, guess what? I want their faith first. I want them to have massive self-confidence and personal development, and I want them to be able to talk and persuade people. And by the way, most great persuaders are pretty damn quiet. They're like Mark C. right here, the new CEO. They're not loud because loud people repel people. Quiet people in their own way, because they're more quiet, you can see their certainty on their face more. You can see their conviction more. So you don't need to be loud and boisterous. You need to be certain. You need to experience total belief, and you have to be able to communicate it in your way. You have to be able to close. If you can't close, you're not going to make money here. You're not going to last. And you don't develop closers, you're not going to last. Is everyone with me on that? Yeah. It's a massively important deal. Who do I think is a good closer? This is a hierarchy full of great ones, starting with G. But there's Grant Cardone. There's other guys out there who teach the stuff that I think are outstanding. I'm pretty good at it too, right? So you got to start studying it. Watch field training. Practice your presentation. Practice your words. You got to come up with a 1 minute. Every great presentation, I just saw on Instagram the other day, every great presentation, in the middle of it, you should just stop and go, can I just set this aside? Can I just tell you why I love this? And for a minute you connect and give energy to someone, not words. The most persuasive thing in the world is a transfer of energy, passion, belief. That's what persuades, not words. Facts tell, stories sell, energy closes. Okay? So you transfer energy. So every presentation, there ought to be a point where you just go, you know how like you're all worried about all the words? You could screw it all up and you went, you know what? Forget this. Can I just tell you why I believe in this so much? And you go heart to heart, in spirit, inspiration, and you affect somebody. That's how you close. That's how you begin to close, is transfer of energy. You can't give me what you're not experiencing though. So you gotta really believe it. You gotta really feel it. You gotta really love it. Okay, 4, you gotta get wide. You hear that over and over again. This is a numbers business. You're not playing enough numbers. People, by the way, I used to only work with $100,000 earners. Now I find myself messaging people all over WFG and all over every business in the world that aren't successful, and they keep asking me, and almost to a person, it's like, you've only talked to 9 people. I've been doing this 24 years. 1 person in my family is actively involved in WFG. 2 people I knew before WFG started are still in the company. 2. So what if I thought the first 9 I had to make or break on them? You got to talk to more people. You got to run larger numbers. You got to be, by the way, if you thought you had the cure for cancer, you'd be talking to them. So your lack of talking to people is this. You ready? I'll give it to you. It's your obsession with what other people think about you. You don't really care about people. You care about you. I'm going to get real with you. You say you care about people. You say you're giving. You say you're kind. And you're self-obsessed. You know why you get nervous when you talk to somebody? You're not worried about helping them. You're worried about how they think about you. So all you people who think you're good people, then really be good people. And stop worrying so much about your damn self. If you could just get to the point before a conversation, before a phone call, before a meeting, and you eliminate you, which is easy for you because you really are a good person. You eliminate you. What you're going to get out of it, what they're going to think about you, what the end result is. If you can just eliminate that, guess what? You're a closer. Because you're in their world, not yours. It'll flow from you. The biggest thing that holds you back is you worrying about what they're thinking about what you're saying and doing. And it's going to ruin your entire life, not just WFG. I can tell you honestly, man, I want people to like me. Really give a shit though. Life's too short. They're going to be at my funeral. They're going to be at my daughter's wedding. They're not retiring my dad. They're not doing any of that stuff for me. I am. But I love people enough to be in their space and care about them. So your problem is you care too much about you. If you really care about people, you'd be talking to them more. You'd be helping more. You'd be less nervous about it. Because we already know they're probably going to say no. Now you got to go, here's what's crazy. You have to go in to every conversation expecting them to say yes, but acting like they won't. You have to have every recruiter team expecting them to be your next SMD and acting like they're going to quit tomorrow. So how would you act if they were going to quit tomorrow? You go get another one. Act and expect greatness, but act the opposite. Does that make sense to everybody? Yes. You wanted more motivation today, huh? Sorry. 5, you got to build leaders. Big topic, only got a minute for it. First way you build leaders, you ready? Taproot them. Physically build a leader. Forget this mumbo jumbo emotional stuff. Physically build a leader. Physically building one means building them an agency. Like when you get a new recruit, your first thought shouldn't be, thank God they're here, let's get them back Tuesday night. Or let's get them licensed. Okay? We have thousands of people who have a license who don't do jack squat. I know there's some older WFG guys constantly preaching licensing to you. They are wrong. They're thinking about A.L. Williams days when you get a license on a weekend and sell some term insurance. Okay? This is the modern WFG.